Today we're discussing 3 ways to save or lower your mortgage payment. So if you're a homeowner trying to lower your mortgage payment in this tough economy, stay tuned. Hello, my name's Chris Green, president and owner of the Flood Insurance Guru. And for the last 12 years, I've been helping property owners overcome the obstacles of high flood insurance premiums. You see, I bought a house like this right here in a flood zone more than 12 years ago and was told my flood insurance premiums were going to be $3,000 when they should have been $300. Thankfully, because of my educational background in flood mitigation, I was able to get that $300 rate. I was able to get my family into their dream home. We see potential property owners lose out on their dream homes every day because of flood insurance premiums. Today, we're talking about 3 ways you can lower your mortgage payment or save in your mortgage payment. We're talking about home insurance, we're talking about flood insurance, and we're talking about taxes. Yes, lower your taxes. Sounds crazy, doesn't it? Let's talk about home insurance first. You see, we're in a very volatile insurance market right now where you're seeing a lot of home insurance premiums skyrocket. I know, I recently got a renewal in the mail where my home insurance was going up 40%. A lot of this has to do with the cost to replace buildings now. It's much higher than it was a few years ago. Climate change is causing a big change for insurance companies as well, as they're having trouble understanding how to calculate the risk of a property flooding, of a property burning down. All these different factors are having a big impact on flood insurance premiums. Insurance companies are losing money, and so we're seeing large increases. Let me tell you a story though. I recently got this renewal in the mail and I started shopping my home insurance renewal. You see, I was an auto and a home insurance agent for 12 years, so I know how the game works. So I started shopping it and I actually found a policy with another company with higher coverage than I had before for almost $1,000 less a year. That saved me $75 a month on my mortgage payment. That's big. Now let's talk about flood insurance. This is another big one. You see, a lot of people think, hey, the only option I have is the National Flood Insurance Program. I just got my renewal in the mail. It's going up another 18%. My flood insurance is now over $1,200 a year. What can I do? Well, you can take a look at the private market as well. Remember, if your policy is just renewed, you may have to wait a whole nother year because unlike home insurance where you can shop it throughout the year, generally most flood insurance, especially with the National Flood Insurance Program, can only be switched at renewal. So you really want to pay attention to that renewal date. But something else you want to take a look at on flood insurance is replacement cost. You want to make sure that you're insuring your property for the actual replacement cost, not what the bank's saying you need coverage for. Why is that? Well, let's just say a total loss like occurs on this building right here and your loan gets paid off. Probably actually doesn't get paid off if you only cover in the loan amount because it's an actual cash value policy, which means you may only get 50 to 60%. This means you could be stuck paying the difference on your loan on a building you don't even have anymore. You want to make sure that that flood insurance policy can make you whole again. You also want to make sure that you have replacement costs on your contents. The National Flood Insurance Program doesn't offer that. Also, when shopping private flood insurance, when you're talking to an insurance agent, you want to make sure that they're giving you at least 3 different private flood insurance options. You want to take a look at exclusion. You want to take a look at deductibles because unlike home insurance, flood insurance has a different deductible for each coverage. This means if I'm covering the home right here behind me for the building, for the contents, even additional living expenses with a private flood insurance policy, I could potentially have a $15,000 deductible and not even realize it. So this is something you want to be careful with when it comes to flood insurance. Remember, these flood insurance premiums are generally good for 12 months. And each year at renewal, you may see these go up. We're seeing flood insurance renewals go up just like home insurance right now. In fact, we're seeing flood insurance renewals probably increase even more because of the widespread flooding and climate change and things like that, weather patterns changing across the country. Now let's talk about taxes. Now this is one you probably think you don't have much control over, but you see, recently I was able to get my taxes on this very house right here lowered $1,200 a year. How did I do that? You see, when the appraisal came in for the new tax year, I noticed it was really high. So I contested the tax appraisal, actually got them to lower the tax amount. That had a huge impact on my taxes. So if you take the home insurance savings I had and you take the tax savings that I had, that was almost $2,000 a year. That was almost $200 a month on my mortgage payment. So you see, just like myself, you can save in these 3 areas when it comes to your mortgage payment. So we're talking about home insurance, we're talking about flood insurance, we're talking about taxes. You really want to pay attention to these 3 areas each year, not just when you buy the house, because you could see that maybe your house replacement cost is $500,000. Maybe it really should be $400,000. Maybe that's having an impact, especially on flood insurance. Because remember, flood insurance uses replacement cost now as a pricing factor. So if the replacement cost on your property is too high, that could potentially mean that your flood insurance premiums are too high, having a big impact on your mortgage payment if it's through your escrow or your mortgage company pays it for you. So these are 3 areas that you could take a look at to save and lower that mortgage payment. If you want to learn more about what your private flood insurance options are, click up here in the next video and you can see exactly how to take a look at private flood insurance options. If you want to know more about flood insurance coverages, you can also click up here to see the different flood insurance coverages offered. My name is Chris Green, president and owner of the Flood Insurance Guru, and we look forward to helping you save money on your mortgage payment and make sure that you're properly protected. Thank you.